Hello and welcome to the Multi-Format Network. You are listening to a political talk show. My name is Dennis Sonar Green. I will be your host and driver for today. I've got my crew from the Multi-Format Network. That's multiformat.net if you want to look at any of our profile pictures. We've got them up there. We got to get some new headshots here and there. I think my headshot is from like 2011, and I am an old man now. Dennis Sonar Green is my name. You can find me at Sonic Engineer. Across the glass from me is the amazing executive producer, Ben Demonium Boquest. Yay!
Hey, what's up? Yeah, applaud. Keep it going. Please clap. Please keep clapping.
Please
Yes.
clap.
No, it's great to be here, man. It's been a tad of a hiatus for us. We've been busy.
my goodness.
Busy as bees.
Way
busy as
busy.
beavers. We've been
Way busy.
Yeah, the annals of time will show that we have aged. If you check our website, even me, the picture on there is I've withered since then. I feel like Jon Stewart was making fun of his age. We all saw the first Daily Show. I haven't talked to you guys about that yet.
Yeah.
But he was making fun of how old he is, and his guest even said, like, in comparison to the president, I noticed this. She was like, "Oh, they're only like 20 years older than you." And like, the look on his face was like, and even mine, like, was like, "Oh man, like, don't give him 25, 30, like a little more accurate." Come on, but either way, yeah, we're old now. That's hence the apolitical talk show. Thanks everybody for listening. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about.
We do.
And also political compost.
That's right.
Yeah.
Joining us as well. You
I
can
am
find
back.
them on multiformat.network as well. That would be Political Campos. And Political Campos is our Twitter correspondent.
X, yeah.
Or X, I'm sorry, our ex-correspondent. I got into a big argument with somebody the other day about Elon Musk, and I'm like, the guy's a big old idiot. And they're like, oh, he's not an idiot. He's practically a trillionaire. How can you be an idiot and have a trillionaire? Like, you think anybody that wins the lottery is brilliant as well? They walked into the gas station and said, oh, this is the time to do it. So
His parents passed their very
There you
moneyed
go.
genes down to genius genes, and yeah.
yeah, and then he bought a
Nepotistically.
brand that we literally had in our common parlance and then said, nah, I don't want to use that. I know everybody in the planet says tweet, even when they're speaking about Facebook. Oh, I'm going to send a tweet out on Facebook. And then turned around and said, you know that brand? Don't want it. That brand is so strong that even when he switched over to X, we still call it formally Twitter.
And it's not just us, guys. I just want to make that clear. We're not the only ones.
We're phasing out. We're phasing out Twitter.
I know we're trying here, but yeah, everyone still calls it. And yeah, one of the biggest, I would say, marketing blunders that I can think of, because like you just said, Sonar, everyone still calls it that and is associated with it. And not one of his brighter ideas.
Big old dummy.
Be different.
I think really he sent it to X so that he could remember that he owns it. It's like, okay, I've got
Right.
SpaceX, cool, okay. I've got Starlink, which, I mean, I'm just waiting for that to become StarX. And then now I've got my social media platform, X, which does not have any kind of brand awareness.
I think
for it.
he needs more pushback. It seems he listens to people when there's like a wave of criticisms. Like not every idea that he's done with Twitter has been great, right? Remember when he tried the rate limits when he was limiting tweets that you can see? It was like 300. Yeah, that went over like a lead balloon. So and there was a bunch of other things, but that wasn't one of his brighter ones.
That's not what we've got today. Everybody has brought at least one news article. I've got one about the Arizona lawmakers that are trying to already hand out their delegates to another person, which is crazy.
Without the whole
Without the election
process?
part of it, right? 9 months before the election, they want to go ahead and just claim a winner. Which why even go out and vote at that point if Congress can just tell you whatever? So we're into this crazy Air Bud type of books. Well, It doesn't say in the rule book a dog can't play. So,
Yeah.
okay. And then, Ben, you have an acronym that we need to talk about as well.
So many.
There's one specifically, I think you said it starts with an F.
Yep. Yeah. FISA today is supposed to be being voted on in the House.
There you go. And
FISA
then
Reform Act.
we've also got another decision that's coming down today. We won't know that until later, and that would be the removal or disqualification or whatever of Fani Willis as well. So there's lots and lots to talk about. Ben, I want to start with your story first.
Right on. So yeah, basically this has been a saga, the saga of FISA reform happening. And it's been a long battle for, as those can remember, FISA is decades old at this point. I want to say something like 17 or something years old. So maybe not decades, but close to it. And today they're supposed to be voting on the reform of it, basically repealing ensuring the ability for warrantless searches on data and other types of spying, basically, being approved. Yesterday, Paul and I were talking about earlier before the show how news was broken about some sort of imminent threat kind of thing, and it was being framed as a reason why the representatives shouldn't even hold a vote on the FISA Reform Act. So just a little bit of the dirty pool lobbying that goes on blatantly in our faces every day at the expense of people's anxiety.
Well, and we've talked about this before. This FISA and this new version of it that they are trying to put together is almost in direct antithesis of the Fourth Amendment. Fourth Amendment of protecting people from unreasonable searches and seizures. And the way that they frame it with this is your data is not your own. Your data is the company's data that you put that data on. So let me explain. I make a post. That post is not mine. I make a tweet. Maybe I make an X, right?
Yeah.
You could have just kept that to yourself.
Yeah.
Is their thought.
But essentially, I put it out, and I sign up for an account. I put my email in there. I let them have whatever browser extensions and cookies and everything else. I keep accepting cookies, but none are delivered. That's what I'm most concerned about, is every website I go to says, would you like some cookies? And I say, yes.
Where are they at?
Where are my cookies?
Where are they at, though?
That's all I'm saying. Anyway, so all of that information that company gathers of you is not yours. It's the company's. Let's look at it this way. I go to a restaurant. The restaurant has a security footage. I do not have any kind of access to that security footage. If the police came in and went to that restaurant because something happened, they would see me and they would see the things that I did and they would see all of the stuff that happened when it happened. That is not, according to them, a violation of the Fourth Amendment. Arguably, the Fourth Amendment and all of the amendments there do not apply to businesses. And that's the loophole that they are doing. Fourth Amendment only gives you the right of search and seizure from the government. I mean, obviously, if somebody steals something, if I seize something from you, Paul, I stole it from you.
Right.
So then there you have legal recourse of stealing. But if you give it to me, it's no longer yours. If you're at a public place and I take a picture of you, it's not you, it's mine. So that's where they're going to play in this gray area and really galvanize the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, which is crazy because what's the first word of FISA?
Yeah, it's not domestic.
Foreign. We have an FBI that investigates internal matters.
Is this a connection, or should I say, connected to the FISA court, right? Like, I believe, like, so basically when the FBI or any of our intelligence services want to file a search warrant. They don't want to do it in a regular court because it becomes public. So they have to go. That's what this FISA court is about. Is they go to this court and they say, here's our evidence, and then I believe it's a select panel of rotating judges that hears the case and say, yes, you can, no, you can't. Is this connected to Trump's case in any way? Because I wonder if that's because of the FISA court with the spying on his campaign. That's why I'm wondering if this is where this is all connected.
That it could be on that side of it, and that could be where the special counsel and everything else came into it. But as far as it's going in right now, it is more of, if you're talking about the document side of everything too, it is more of the National Archives that is coming after him for the document side. But by all means, you talk about Mueller's report, I think is what you're going after. That I think was more of Department of Justice, and they may have used the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act as a tool to get that.
Again, you bring the ultimate first word, foreign.
Foreign.
What was accused of Trump dealing with foreign interests and such? So
exactly, or spying on the campaign, et cetera, et cetera. It's crazy.
There was a quote from one of the definitely call your congressperson today. It's not too late. And so actually I have a number for you, 202-899-8938. Dial this number and tell them to vote no on extensions of warrantless government surveillance, or do your own research and maybe you want that stuff. So
just like the Patriot Act, just like these secret laws that just give us no rights whatsoever.
Absolutely. And if you're looking for the House of Representatives, that's 202-224-3121. And you can use that for anything, not just for FISA. Next on our docket here is before we go to break, I want to talk about the Arizona lawmakers that essentially have put together what they call House Concurrent Resolution 2055. Oh, sounds so daunting. Oh, okay.
Sounds official.
Oh, it's very official. They are definitely trying to push this thing. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. But the Republican-controlled House of Representatives of Arizona resolves to, quote, change the manner of the presidential election by appointing the 11 presidential electors to the Republican primary winner to offset the removal of a Republican candidate from the ballot in Colorado and Maine, where they turn around and say, oh, well, if you're going to break the Constitution, well, I'll break the Constitution harder. What do you want to? What are you going to do about it?
Not what they're doing, but yeah. That way, their impression.
So that's essentially what they've said. They are, and again, this is by appointing the 11 presidential electors to the Republican primary winner. Congress, Arizona's Congress is going to decide where those electors go.
Yeah, that's really peeling the face off the Electoral College there.
Wow. Like, we already have an understanding that states get to decide how their delegates or their electors are sent. That is already, I believe that is in the federal constitution at that point of state sovereignty and everything else. I think Article 3 is for the states. But anyway, I'd have to take a look at it. Article 3 may be more of a Congress type of thing. But essentially, we've got the 10th Amendment, which is state sovereignty at that point. But what they're saying is hey, Colorado and Maine, we don't like that you enacted the 14th Amendment of keeping a person who has, and by the way, you want to turn around and say, is the guy engaged in insurrection or not? Doesn't matter. He provided aid and comfort to insurrectionists. Please read your Constitution. Daily read your Constitution. No, I'm just saying it's there. It doesn't matter. You don't necessarily have to have engaged in an insurrection to be essentially be a ipso facto bona fide insurrectionist. I give an insurrectionist a sandwich, a pat on the back or say, you know what, the January 6th choir is better than Taylor Swift.
Right.
Aid and comfort to these things. And that's where the 14th Amendment was applied to Colorado and Maine. And even then, Colorado had a group of judges that said it. And then Maine's laws are for the Secretary of State. So now Arizona's going to come in with their own Air Bud rules and say, well, doesn't say we can't just give the delegates right now 9 months before the people of Arizona are even allowed to tell them what it is. My goodness. Thoughts from you fellas?
Did Arizona go to Trump last time?
Good
do we know
question.
that?
Let me see. I think so.
Because I
I'd
was
have
like,
to
why
take a
would you
look.
do like this reeks of desperation?
as a Democrat voter, I would feel severely disenfranchised.
Yeah, it's just reeks of desperation. It's like, why would you do this? Especially, I wouldn't necessarily consider Arizona to be a swing state. But if this goes through, if this is even has a chance, I mean, this is like, I mean, we just keep breaking new territory like every day. As we get closer to the election, you're just seeing both sides just kind of rewrite the rules as we're going.
No,
It's
Joe Biden won.
Oh, okay.
Joe Biden
Wow.
won Arizona. That's
Okay.
probably why they are
Never mind
angry.
then. There you go.
Yeah.
Never mind then.
Probably why they were angry. Popular vote. He beat the popular vote by 11,000.
Well,
Just under
Not much.
11,000 votes.
so that's them. Then effectively, this is them saying, if we were able to choose the elector,
No,
the electorate votes.
this is them saying we're choosing them now. This isn't
But
like
if they haven't won them yet, or they aren't eventually going to win them.
so. Even then, this is it. They're not even giving the Democrats a chance. They are flat out saying all of our electorate are going to go to the Republican primary winner. Now, they're not saying it's going to go to Donald Trump. They are saying all of them will go to the Republican primary.
And this is
Yeah,
a
it's a
general
big-
election, right?
It's a big microscope on why are we even doing this.
But by all means, this is a microscope for the Electoral College, which I am absolutely for getting rid of.
Absolutely. If this has to be the thing that was so dumb that's written in history books to make the Electoral College go away, then dumb it up, Arizona.
Absolutely, which is, again, is why the Republican side does not like it when everybody gets to vote. They do not like it when everyone gets to vote because everybody doesn't like them. And that's the issue. Instead of changing anything to actually be more of a populist party, they would then turn around and say, well, let's just restrict it to only people that do support us are able to vote. Look at anything that Lindsey Graham has ever said about voting. He always talks about how we can't get people out to vote enough.
Gerrymandering, the fact that's even a thing where you can draw your own districts and just make it itself. You can isolate yourself to where you can literally target your voters so you can stay in office. That's how a lot of these guys stay in office for years or decades. It's insanity.
They take the census, carve it up, and make these weird puzzle shapes instead of just going, no, slice, done. It's got to be this weird, like, if there was a river that ran through that side, we're like, oh, we got to keep the side of the river. And the other thing is there's a lot of people that become disenfranchised because they were in one district one year, they're in the other district the other year, and they don't even know where they can go to vote. So it's insane with the way it is, which is why we need national, federal voting reform. We're going to take a quick break. Have just a couple of minutes right here on Apolitical Talk Show. Multi-Format Network is the place that you can go to find it, or your favorite podcasting platform. Just put in Apolitical Talk Show. I'm Dennis Sonar Green. That's Ben Demodium Boquest, and beside me is Paul Political Campos. We will be right back. Welcome back to A Political Talk Show, brought to you by the Multi-Format Network. And you guessed it, we are in multiple formats right here for the A Political Talk Show. One of those formats is obviously the stream that you're watching right now on YouTube. What, you're not watching the stream? Oh, well, then you must be listening to the podcast. That's the other format that we've got. A Political Talk Show. Tell your favorite smart speaker to play it, or go to your favorite podcasting platform, and sure enough, we are there. Do you like Amazon? Do you like Google Podcast? Do you like iHeartRadio? Whatever your favorite flavor of podcasting platform is out there, go ahead and look up A Political Talk Show. My name is Dennis Sonar Green, as I have said before. Across the glass from me is the executive producer of A Political Talk Show. That would be Ben Demonium Boquest.
Yo, what's going on? It's what's up, everybody? Hello.
Hey.
We're all over the place in the first segment. I loved it, though. I think we talked about stuff that both a lot of people are covering, and then a couple things that people aren't covering. Like I haven't heard that Arizona business before. That's craziness.
No, because it is craziness, and I don't know. More people need to talk about it. Is all it is. So look it up. Look up what the Arizona GOP. What? Not the Arizona GOP. The Arizona Congress. Let's just call it as it is. If it is controlled by the GOP, then therefore that's what it is. But this is what the House of Representatives in Arizona are looking at. Look at House, Conjunct Resolution 2055. Also here with us today to bring his political insight, that would be Paul Political Campos.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir, for being here. I want to talk to you fellas about Fani Willis. Let's go ahead and travel down to Georgia, the, the Peach State?
Yeah.
At that point, Fani Willis has been in some trouble lately.
That's the district attorney, right?
Yes, District Attorney Fani Willis. She's actually the Georgia prosecutor for the RICO case for Donald Trump. We always go to ground.news to get us our favorite news articles and to make sure that we are as center of the road as possible. There are already 6 articles that have been written out on what to watch out for with this upcoming decision. There's a bunch of different ways to look at it. The Independent is in there. Obviously, the Huffington Post leans a little bit over to the side. KVIA, it is a centered broadcasting side, but they essentially just took CNN's stuff and wrote it from there. If you want to know anything else out there, go ahead and find, again, your favorite place to get information, and more than likely somebody's talking about it from there. I tell my students when I'm talking to everything, is like, look, if you want to turn around and be biased, you're going to be labeled as such. That's it. I'm not telling you that you can't. I'm not telling you that that it is. This whole industry has changed in a certain way as well, where there is this dichotomy, and there are people that make money, and that is their job to be biased. Candace Owens, looking at you. You were a good broadcaster. What happened? But anyway, if you turn around and start leaning one way or the other, prepare to lean the rest of the way. It is hard to maintain a centered balance, and the only publication I've ever seen that is closest to the middle as it possibly can with a high factuality would be Straight Arrow News. So shout out to Straight Arrow News. I wish they put out more articles, but every article that they do put out is down the middle and high factuality. So there's already 6 articles about what to watch out for the Georgia Trump prosecutor Fani Willis misconduct hearing. I'm just going to give you guys a couple of points here and there, and then I'll hand it over to you. Georgia prosecutor Willis is facing allegations in an affair with the lawyer Wade led to financial gain impacting her appointment in the case against former President Trump. What that means is this is probably going to affect her appointment as the prosecutor for this. The allegations were made by Atlanta defense attorney Ashley Merchant, representing former White House aide Michael Roman. Don't know who either of those people are, but I guess I'll have to look them up. A hearing will determine if Willis should be disqualified from the case, potentially causing delays and concerns about the case's future. I have heard that this RICO case was the one to do it. I heard every single time the RICO case is the one that's going to do it. And because Fani Willis couldn't keep it in her pants, this is what we're going to run into? Are you kidding me?
I feel like it's between that and the Jack Smith case, and the Jack Smith case is developing interestingly with, and also you're dealing with the judge, the Trumper judge in that case.
Oh, Eileen Cannon. Down in my neck of the woods where we started the network in the Fort Pierce area.
Florida.
Yeah. We ran it in Vero Beach, which is just north of that. But yeah.
One main thing I think is my main question about this Fani Willis situation, we'll call it, is if could she recuse herself and kind of save this thing, or is it just? I think the pushback on that was that she would just take a step down career wise, and no one likes to do that.
And honestly, she should fall on this sword. Honestly, she's the one that made this mess. Her and Wade are the ones that made this mess, made it to the. And by all means, I get it.
It's one of those things everybody does, because that's the excuse. Everybody was doing it.
And that's my point with this, is that, of course, I mean, you could think about all the sexual allegations that happened across everything, and those weren't even consensual. So I get it. I get the stigma of a black female leader getting torn down because she has done this that most everybody else has done in some sort of way, but you have taken a position of righteousness to the point where, like, you have challenged Donald Trump directly, not through just the courts. You've publicly challenged this man and have taken the high horse. And the problem with the high horse is that you will fall off of it,
or at least have the pictures or the fingers pointed back at you.
Exactly.
No, I mean, you said it all there, Sonar and Ben, both of you guys, about how of all the cases that have been brought about against Trump, I thought this was the strongest one, in the most serious.
I only need 11,780 votes. My gosh, that's a big mountain of evidence.
And the most serious one, and the one that had the most evidence, like direct evidence where you can. I think you can draw a line and say what his intention was, and that's why this is so. That's why it's so disastrously heartbreaking, because I don't think people realize. And just to be my opinion, but I think the case is in jeopardy because of this. Because she just didn't have an affair. She brought in the man who she was having an affair with to work on the case with her. So that, for those,
it basically amounts to misappropriating.
Yeah, misappropriating. And was he even qualified to work on the case? And what's his expertise and stuff?
Now you're bringing up questions, and that's the problem. Is you should not even hint at the appearance of any kind of impropriety.
This, for those who've, novice law people or who watch Law and Order, the littlest thing, all you need is one thing to take a motion. Trump's lawyers can take a motion to say, listen, they gathered this. Now you should throw out the case.
And this is the thing, to bring it back to your question, Ben, is there's two routes. Fani Willis can still stay in, and then the judges will decide if it was inappropriate and she needs to be disqualified from the case or whatever. And that's her holding to her guns and saying, nope, I'm going to do it. I'm going to be the guy I'm going to be the lady who brings him down. This is what needs to happen. I don't care how long it goes. And they will delay the case. And that's the goal. Delay. And maybe Arizona will vote you in as president. So he threw a callback, right? He's a callback.
See?
Callback to other things. See, that's why I drive the show. But anyway, maybe Arizona decides that Donald Trump is president now. Okay, well, what is the president going to do? Yeah. When you are president, you have some sort of presidential immunity from the immediate side. You are the executive branch. You are the one who is in charge of it. Just ask Bill Barr about all of
And
this.
pardoning power, right?
Exactly. You just turn around and pardon yourself, but you can't pardon yourself for the state. So here's the other option. And she gets disqualified, and it takes months and months and months to find a new prosecutor for it. Or she can fall on this sword immediately, right now, right this very moment. Fani, if you're listening, this is the choice that you can make. Walk away. Say, you know what? You're right. This is something that is definitely throwing shade and some questions into the place. I'll tell you what, I'm going to hand it to my deputy. I'm going to hand it to my number 2. I'm going to hand it to the next guy down the line because that person is clean and we can continue through the schedule.
Yeah, don't be all Trump about it. You don't have to put your name on the side of the building.
And that's the problem. I think Fani Willis has the same ego problems that Trump has. Now, whatever side of the law, whatever side that you want to put together, everybody's got personalities, whatever bias that you've got. I think Fani Willis has the same type of egocentric type of thing,
It's rampant.
even if her intentions are good. Even if her intentions are good.
Sure.
The knight in shining armor is here to tell everybody that I'm here to save the world. If they save the world, great, but they're still doing it for the fame. And I think Fani Willis falls in that category. Go ahead, Ben.
I agree. I would agree with that 1,000%.
Hey-oh.
And yeah, it doesn't go without saying that racial targeting and all that stuff. I mean, it's a factor in a lot of politics. So like, it is a legitimate thing to claim. But in this case, like, come on,
Where are you in the right?
Yeah, you already got caught doing the bad thing. Like, you could have hired anybody else, and it would have been fine. Would have been fine. Could have gone on, maybe.
And still had an affair with that guy.
Yeah.
Or handed it over to somebody.
I don't understand. Like, how is it an affair? Isn't it a relationship?
It
I
is.
mean, what's wrong?
And an affair is a relationship.
Yeah, people throw around these terms, and a lot of people they hear affair and
Well, they're
they
married,
think, oh,
right? Isn't she married? I thought
possibly.
that's what it was.
I don't know.
I know they're dating in some capacity.
So I don't think she's married if they're dating. Like, I know we're pretty progressive.
I
but-
know because if I remember
Wade.
correctly,
Yeah,
Wade was
Wade is
married,
in a divorce.
And how they found out was the ex-wife is the one who tipped off to everyone that there was some shenanigans, I guess, going around.
And that's where it came up. That's why everybody
drama
came
then.
for it.
Yeah, everyone loves a saucy story. Like the problem is that really
General
should amount to nothing. Yeah, zero.
But the problem is, Ben, the drama should only have been on the Trump camp.
True.
It should not have been the
real
go
messed
ahead.
up part of it is the hiring of him, and then there was I believe donations of some sort misappropriated. So
led to financial gain impacting her appointment to the case. So there's some sort of financial gain that has been done. And even then, we don't know all
Insanity.
the details.
It's crazy. It's stupid. It's laundry, and it's what our political system amounts to. And I have another fun story that could segue
Let's
into this.
close
if
it
you're
out.
down- you're
Let's
down to
go,
this.
buddy.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
That's why he's the best.
yes, the best. We have this hilarious story coming out of Montreal, montreal.ctvnews.ca. Check it out. Parents are fuming after a Montreal teacher allegedly lists his students' art for sale. So, long story short, I'll go ahead and read more detailed into the article. But this high school or junior high student school teacher was going around and selling kids' art on like Etsy and eBay.
Oh,
And
goodness.
just like everything, no one's doing anything with this. This stuff just sitting around here. The sum of it for up like $151 for this one single piece of art.
All right,
I just
I'm
think that's hilarious.
missing
What do you guys
out.
think
We're
about
missing out. Really? You can't paint better than a junior high kid?
If
Or
you
maybe
can't,
you can.
yeah, if you
I don't
can't
know.
teach, and if you don't make enough money teaching, or you can't be an
Steal.
art collector, just steal, appropriate the children's arts.
That's copyright. Like,
Is it?
Like, you just stole that copy.
It's
from
IP.
it. Like, yeah, it's definitely IP. Like, that's crazy.
An investigation is underway at Montreal area high school after multiple parents have alleged their kid's art teacher has been taking drawings that they made in class and listing them for sale on several websites without their knowledge.
I want to know how they caught him. There's a story there.
Well, they just found him online. One of the drawings made by a 12-year-old student who attends Westwood High School, junior high school, an off-island suburb west of Montreal, has been listed for $151 on at least 4 different websites. Let's see. The drawings and other fellow classmates appear on multiple items, including T-shirts sold for $55, coffee mugs sold for $41, and even iPhone cases at $35 a pop.
Wow.
Yep. And
do they show the picture of the drawing?
okay,
Is it good?
Can you see this?
Child labor laws in effect.
A little bit. It's
like
it's better than anything I can draw. I can tell you that.
Oh yeah, it just looks like, like stuff that you would see hanging. You remember being in high school and you go down the art hall and there'd be like, the portraits, and there'd be that one and all the famous Whistlers and Mona Lisas redone, and just craziness. But yeah, it's just high school level art pretty much, and of course there's some good ones in there. But yeah,
That's hilarious. So it's just an investigation so far?
Yeah, in this case, having the teacher or someone else putting their name would violate copyright law. Says
me.
Yeah, says
It's Dennis Green.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Says whoever you're talking
Just,
to.
an intellectual property lawyer, a real one.
Oh, it's true. I only play a lawyer on the radio.
You only know everything that they do anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the information. I just don't have Esquire across my name.
Ivermectin.
Did you know between me and the internet, we know everything? Ask me any question, Paul. The internet knows it.
Beat me to it.
So, but yeah, man, that I can't take that from people. Like, even then, like, to be able to follow back up, it's different from, like, I go to your buddy's house and see something on the fridge and grab it and go. Like, this guy is technically running like a child labor shop.
Right.
Like,
just when you think you hear every scam, I feel
my
like
question. Jerk or genius?
Here comes another one. Yeah.
Jerk or genius?
both. Both. Just not smart in law.
Real life, yeah.
That's it. You guys got anything else? We can close this puppy up.
Oh man, what else is happening out there?
Well, Mayorkas definitely got impeached, and I'm sorry for that, but that's about it. So the Republicans are doing a victory lap on that one. I don't know why. The Senate's going to shut it down. Yeah. They lost a senator as well. That happened, just 2 days ago on that side of it. But more news, as always. If you need anything to reach out, you've got a news article you want us to break down and find more information about, you can find us on the internet. I'm Sonic Engineer. I believe that is Bendemonium, and that is Political. Right there. Find us out there on the internet. A political talk show. If you've made it this far, thanks for listening to this episode. Find another one, maybe tomorrow's, maybe yesterday's. Listen at multiformat.net, a political talk show. We'll be back later. Bye.